Hello YouTube, this is Jay from Maji and Jay, and today the purpose of this video is to review the Xiaomi Redmi 2 that I got from the website pandaworld.com. As you guys know, I unboxed this device a little over a week now and I've been using it as my primary device, and I gotta say that it is a very nice phone, especially for the price. There is a coupon available of $5 and that coupon is going to be provided down below for those who want to check it out, so the phone can go for as cheap as $142. Now have in mind that the coupon is going to expire by the 31st of this month, so if you guys are interested in this product after this review, then you can definitely acquire it from the website down below, which is going to be pandaworld.com. So the first thing we got on the front of this device is a 4.7 inch. It is a 10-point multi-touch screen but a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. And yes, it is an IPS OGS display and the viewing angles are absolutely amazing, of course. And then on the bottom here, we're going to find the menu key, the home key, and also the back key. The great news is that they do light up. So that's definitely a plus, especially for those who use their phone at nighttime. It's going to make it a lot easier to know where your buttons are at. On the top, you're going to find here a 2 megapixel sensor. We also got the ear speaker. On the left side, we can see that it is pretty much plain and this phone is not going to be thin. It is very thick. As a matter of fact, I believe it's going to be about 9.3 millimeters thick. Then on the bottom here, we're going to find the microphone. We also got the charging/data port. On the right side, we find here the volume rockers up and down, and then we also got the power button. Now sometimes guys, I do have to admit, especially when pressing the volume down, sometimes you get confused with the power button and you end up turning off the display. It's kind of annoying. That's why I prefer the buttons to be separated. I wish that this had maybe the volume rocker on the other side and then the power button on the right side. That would have made it much easier. And then on the top, you're going to find the 3.5mm headphone jack, and as we can see, the noise cancelling microphone is going to be on the back this time. We have the LED flash together with the 8 megapixel sensor camera, the loudspeaker, and finally the logo here. Now if we open the back, we're going to notice that this is a dual SIM dual standby device, and the great news is that it's going to support 3G here with AT&T and T-Mobile. Unfortunately, we're not going to get 4G LTE because the bands are not supported, but I'm pretty sure that other countries like Europe and China itself do support LTE, so that's definitely going to be a great value for this phone. And supports TF cards up to 64 gigabytes, so that's definitely a plus. Even though this phone only comes with 8 gigabytes of internal storage and 1 gigabyte of RAM, I think that the RAM is a downside for this phone because we know that nowadays we do download a lot of applications, and a lot of those applications do require a lot of space. Because they have more capability and they have more graphics and whatnot, so that could be some sort of an inconvenience depending on how many applications you're going to download. We also got here a 2200 milliamp battery. Now have in mind that this is only a 4.7 inch display. It is a 720p, and also we have the Snapdragon 410 processor. It is a 64-bit processor, so that's going to save you a lot of battery. On the battery side, I don't complain. The only thing I complain about right now is that it only has 1 gigabyte of RAM. But again guys, for the price of this phone, we really can't ask for more, and some countries are even going to get 4G LTE. And here in the USA, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to get 3G with AT&T and also T-Mobile. And the 3G speed, it is not so bad. Now let's go ahead and install here the back cover and get back here to the system. Alrighty guys, now before we jump back here to the system, I want to show you and compare the difference here in thickness between the Elphone G7 and the Xiaomi Redmi 2. As we can see, this is a very thick device. Now what I like about the back is that it has an eggshell finish. It's very soft, and the great news is that you don't get a lot of fingerprints on it. And I would say that it is not scratch proof, but it's really hard to get scratched, and that's because we have that eggshell finish. So I definitely like the back on this phone. It makes you feel like you're grabbing it and it's not going to slip off your hands, and it's also very comfortable. Have in mind that this is only, again, a 4.7 inch display, so that's going to allow you to text with one hand. As you guys can see, my hands are not the biggest out there, and I can reach pretty much the entire screen and above with just my right hand, so that's definitely a plus for those people who like to text with one hand. I know that myself. I do prefer that method, and of course with a phone like a 5.5 inch display here, we have to use both hands, and a lot of us like to be one-handed and not two-handed. Now here, when it comes to the system, what we got is the MIUI launcher 6.2. Underneath it is going to be the Android 4.4.4. Then here from the lock screen, if we swipe from the right towards the left, we can see that we have the quick camera toggle, and that's pretty much all we're going to see. And again, here we can see the MIUI launcher, guys. It is very simplistic, and what I like about the MIUI launcher is that they kind of make it look a little bit like iOS, and that's because we have all the applications in one place. We don't have the Android app tray, as we can see right here. All the applications also have the same measurement, making it a lot easier to view. So I am a strong fan of this MIUI launchers. I do like them a lot. I think they are very useful and also very snappy, as we can tell. So right now I only downloaded a few applications, and that's because I have, again, 1 GB of RAM, so I really cannot abuse it. I did download some heavy gaming. Here we have Riptide GP2. I believe we also have Outsport 8, and then we have some other 3D games. But have in mind, guys, that this is not going to be for heavy gaming. So if you're looking for a phone maybe to use it with a little bit more power, then I would recommend something like the Cubot. It has 2 GB of RAM, and it goes for a little bit cheaper than this, only 135. But if that's not what you're looking for and you're looking for a name brand, something with high quality like this device, then I would definitely recommend it. And then jumping here to the notifications, we can see that they also are very simplistic, nothing very special here. We do have all the toggles on this side. If we swipe from the left towards the right, we can see that we have the silent mode, we have the rotation mode. We can also lock the screen directly from here. We have the Bluetooth toggle. We also got many other toggles around here, so you guys can see everything is very simplistic. We even have the brightness. We can set it up to auto brightness or just control it here from the bottom. And now also on the bottom here, we can see we have a quick toggle for the settings. If you click on it, it's going to take us directly into it. Now this phone is going to be pretty much carrying the same settings that we've seen on any other Android device. It's not going to be any different from that. If you click here on additional settings, we can see that we have some hidden ones, the ones that are not too popular. If you continue to scroll down, now if you tap on additional settings here, we do have some settings that are very important, like languages. Now the only unfortunate side of this phone right now is that it's only supporting 3 languages. So in the future, we're going to get an update from the Xiaomi company so that we can get some more languages supported. Right now, I think it's going to be Chinese, the traditional, and the simplified one, and then also English. Those are the only languages that we have available on this phone. So I know that some countries are not going to like that, because of course, Android devices, especially if they are unlocked, they come with multiple languages. But don't worry, guys, you can also download them directly from the Play Store. And then here we have storage. On storage, we can actually see that this is carrying about right now it has available 5.75 gigabytes out of the 8, and that's because we're using some system files and whatnot. And then after that, we're left with about almost 2.5 gigabytes. So I would definitely recommend getting a TF card and upgrading the memory. Have in mind that you can use up to 64 gigabytes. We also got here the notification light, and we can change the colors. Right now we have it in blue. I believe we can also change it in red. And I did make a mistake. I think I mentioned that the notification LED light was on the top, but it's actually here on the bottom, just below the home key. That's great. Let's go ahead and change the color once again. There we go. We have it in red. We also have it in yellow. And we have many colors to choose from, depending on what you guys like. So that's definitely a great option. Let's go all the way to the bottom. We're going to go here into About Device, so that way we can confirm the system here. Again, it's going to be the Android KitKat 4.4.4. We do have the MIUI launcher 6.2.8. This is a quad-core processor. It comes with 1 gigabyte of RAM. So here we can confirm pretty much all the system settings. Now the great news about this screen is that it is a 10-point multi-touch screen, and here we're going to test it real quick. Let's go ahead and open the application for it. Here we have it, and let's go here into multi-touch test, and here we're going to notice, guys, that right now it's reading about 6 fingers, so anything above 5 is showing us that yes, it is a 10-point multi-touch screen, and that's definitely a plus for those who sometimes like to play heavy games. Like I said before, you're not going to be able to download a lot of them, but you can at least download 1 or 2, and being a 10-point multi-touch screen is also a plus. We also got here the Geekbench application, in which is confirming once again the Android that we have for this system. It is the 4.4.4 KitKat. And then when I do the testing of all the applications, I'm going to be performing a test so that way you guys can see the scoring that it's going to give it. And here, like always, I have installed some applications and games, but before we get through them, I'm going to go ahead and perform a camera test. So please, guys, check the next footage and let me know what you guys think. Alrighty, guys, and here we have the 8 megapixel sensor camera of the Xiaomi Redmi 2, and as we can tell, guys, the colors are very nice. The overall focus is also very good. It is expected for this camera. You know that Xiaomi is right now releasing devices with high quality. I do apologize the wind noise, but here we can see that the overall stability of it, even though we don't have optical image stabilization, is also pretty decent. And now let's test the front-facing camera. And finally, here we have the 2 megapixel sensor camera of the Xiaomi Redmi 2. And as we can tell, guys, even though it is only a 2 megapixel sensor, this is definitely going to be great for selfies, Skype, or any other social media out there. I would never recommend a front-facing camera to record important videos, as the quality is not the best as we can tell here, but at least it's going to do its job. Okay guys, and there we have it for the camera test, and here we have the actual UI of it. We can see that this time it's a little bit different than any other phone that we've seen before. If we swipe here towards the left side, we have panorama mode. We can change the audio quality, the HDR, pretty much all the settings that we do on these cameras for the most part. Then on the right side, we can change the filters. As we can see, we have about, I would say, 12 of them available. That's definitely great. And then of course, we're going to have the settings for when we want to record. I believe that if we swipe towards the left, we can just change it here. The only option that we actually have is the fast motion. And then if we swipe towards the other side, it's actually not giving us here an option. So it is not going to be, a very detailed camera. It's going to be just a basic one. But it does its job, as you guys saw from that test. And of course, I'll be providing some pictures down below that way you guys can check it out if you wish to do so. And now with that being said, the next thing we're going to do now is go ahead and perform a GPS test. So please guys, check the next footage and let me know what you guys think. What's going on everybody, this is Jay from Maji and Jay, and here we got the Xiaomi Redmi 2 GPS test. And I suspect that this device does have a strong GPS, and that's because we know that Xiaomi is a very big company in China. I would say that they compare to companies like Samsung, LG, and so on. So I was expecting the GPS to work out of the box. I didn't need to customize it or route it in order to get it working. So here we can see that right now it is very accurate. And I can say that it took about 5 seconds to lock the signal. So now let's go ahead and test it from inside of the house. Okay guys, and there we have it for the GPS test. And now of course, like always, we're going to test it here from inside of the house. We're going to see how fast this is going to lock a signal. I would say it takes about 5 seconds at the most. And I didn't have to tweak it or route it in order to get it working like this. It comes like this right out of the box. So that's definitely great when we see GPSs performing this way. We know that sometimes, our Chinese devices do have poor GPS quality. But in this particular case, it's going to be very good. And the great news again is that I didn't have to tweak it. So that was definitely a plus. And with that being said guys, of course I have downloaded here some applications and games as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to be performing some tests, so please make sure you guys enjoy it. And there we have it for the performance of this device, and as we can see, it is working quite well. And one application that I just left for the end here is going to be YouTube, so that way you guys can check the quality of the back speaker. Let's go ahead and play here one of my latest video about the Cubot X9. It is also a very good device for the price, and we're going to see that this is going to support 720p for video quality, as we can tell right there. And right now it's loading. It is a little bit slow. That's because my Wi-Fi router is now on the other side of the house, so it's quite far. But let's go ahead and test it here with the 3G real quick. Let me go ahead and turn off the Wi-Fi so that way you guys can see that the 3G is working well on this device. And there we can see that right now with AT&T it is supporting H+. Let's just wait here until it reloads. There we go. Go ahead and put it on max volume here. And right now it's still reloading. So there we can see, guys, that the back speaker does have a very nice quality to it. I think I have the auto rotation off. Let me see if that's correct. Actually, I don't see it here right now. Okay, guys, so there we can see that yes, YouTube right now is working quite well. Okay, guys, so now with that being said, here I have my little weight scale, and the last time I checked, this device was about 136 grams, and as we can see, it's actually 137, so this is not going to be the heaviest nor the lightest out there. And what I like about the display is that when it's off, it's matching here perfectly well with the remaining of the bezel, making it feel very nice and premium. Have in mind that this phone is also going to support OTG, which is USB on the go. So if you guys have one of these babies, you can definitely connect an external memory. So that's definitely a plus when we have those features, guys. And I gotta say that for $142, this phone is definitely worth it. You're going to get a very nice quality with it. Now, like I said before, it does lag once in a while, and maybe in the future we're going to get an update to get more languages supported, because right now we basically have 3, which is English, and then we have traditional Chinese, and the other one, I forget the name of it. I think it's traditional and simplified. That's the name of it. So we only have 3 languages supported. And then you guys can check it on the description down below. I have provided the link and also the coupon code as well. And now the next thing we're going to do here, guys, is test the browser. As you guys can see right now, I am connected to 3G. I'm not going to test it with Wi-Fi, and that's because it's obvious to say that with Wi-Fi it's going to work more than great. So here we're going to go ahead and open the browser. And let's go ahead and navigate here through some web pages. Let's go ahead and open, let's say here, ebay.com. I believe it's going to jump me directly into Google. Possibly not. There we go. So these are, websites that do require significant amount of data in order to work fluently. You're also going to test here YouTube. Let's see how fast it's going to open. These are websites that I haven't opened yet. I decided to clear the data, that way you guys can see that for the most part it's working quite well with 3G. It's not going to be the fastest speed out there, but at least it's going to do its job here in the USA, so that's also a plus for this phone. The next thing we're going to do here, guys, is go ahead and test the Bluetooth. Here I have my little Bose speaker like always. Let's go ahead and power on, and I believe the last device that I paired with was with this one. So let's go here into settings, and I think it has connected already. Let's go here into Bluetooth, and there we can see that yes, guys, it has connected, so that's great. Let's go back once. Now let's check here on sounds. Let's go into, let's see here, I haven't done this yet. Let's go into phone ringtones, and let's go ahead and check the quality of the Bluetooth. Most of these ringtones can only be viewed online. And now that I have turned off the speaker, let's go ahead and test the speaker of the phone itself. Let's go ahead and put it on play once more here. Let's see. Right now it's loading. Now the back speaker, guys, does have a little bit of bass to it. You can feel the vibration throughout the phone, so that's great. This is a very nice speaker on the back. I was overall satisfied with the quality of it. And now the last thing we're going to do is go ahead and perform here a phone call. Let's go ahead and dial 611 so that we can check the service for straight talk. Let's place it on loudspeaker.
For English, press 1. Para español, presione 2.
There we go. Now let's check here the ear speaker. Max volume.
For English, press 1. Para español, presione 2.
So there we can see, guys, that yes, the ear speaker is working quite well. Now the microphone, a lot of people sometimes complain that they hear me a little bit scratchy. So yes, I think that the microphone is not going to be the best quality. But you know, just make sure that you guys are not super loud, because otherwise it's going to sound a little bit scratchy. And I think you guys also noticed that on the video test that I performed about this phone, the sound was not the best. But you know, those are little cons, and of course, you know, for the price, it is expected that these phones are always going to have cons, but for the most part, it is a very nice phone. So I think I have covered everything about this device, and like always, if you guys do have any questions, please don't forget to comment down below. Like the video, subscribe for more. I'm going to be bringing also a lot of new unboxings very soon, guys. I do apologize for not bringing a video basically every day. That's because I'm moving right now, so I'm trying to get everything set up. But of course, once I get everything settled, you know, since December has been 2 rough months, December and January, so I do apologize for that. And of course, I keep you guys updated with the latest products and clones, so stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.